Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 29 of my Clouds of Darkness Let's Play. As you can see, we are back in Atom. I brought along my furnace chest so that I could start making some Atom stone out of the cracked limestone to complete the Bricks for Days quest, and I hunted down 10 bandit warriors. Next on the list of hunting the various monsters of Atom, it will be 10 desert ghosts. So, I'm gonna go flying around, kill some of them, right after I open up these troll blocks and this reward bag. And the troll blocks contain a bunch of slime balls and a new music disc, which I'm kind of happy about. Our reward bag, one greater bag, gives me 10 grilled cheese sandwiches, which would be awesome food early game, but once again, not anything great now. Oh, I mentioned an episode or two back, that I wanted to see if the psychedelic bacon jerky had any buffs to it. Unfortunately, it does not, which is a shame because it's psychedelic bacon jerky. That's awesome. Alright, so I'm going to go out ghost busting, and once I have these dead and that stone smelted, I'll return and we'll continue this quest line. Won't take very long at all. Here we are, quests complete. Haunting of the Creators, and Bricks for Days. Next on the task lists, the Terracotta Army want me to kill 10 stone soldiers. I already had to kill 2 just to get back here to the chest. And ores covered in sand. You want me to collect 64 of each type of ore, including lapis and coal, which I'm going to need Silk Touch for. Huh. That needs to be... That's going to be a pretty large setup. That is going to take a little bit more doing than most. So, let me get some materials together and set something up for this, because I believe that the lapis ore in Atom is actually relatively rare. I'll be back in just a little bit once I have that ready, and while I'm away, I'll kill 10 of the Terracotta Army. See you soon. Alright, I am back at base to show you what I'm putting together. To mine the various ores in Atom, we are going to use an ender quarry. First step along that way, I need to make some burnt quartz by cooking a block of quartz in a furnace. And because I don't feel I've quite mass-produced the ender-infused obsidian, and I need more of it, I'm going to show you what my plans were to mass-produce this stuff. 1 ender lily seed in a magma crucible takes a little bit of time, but will produce... Wow, that disappeared quickly. 4,000 millibuckets of resin ender. Or, 4 buckets worth, which is enough to do, like, 80 obsidian all on its own. Anyway, this is just a matter of now the fluid transposer is the bottleneck, and the only thing that I have need for is speed. As such, now that I can properly mass-produce ender-infused obsidian, we're going to teach this 4,608 EMC value item to our transmutation table, and we're just going to grab a stack of it right then and there. Oh, one other thing. I switched the chest over to producing nether stars, because one nether star had the same EMC value as one of the 243 times storage upgrades. You know what I haven't done, though? I haven't taught this thing how to make nether stars yet. And then I have 37 million EMC in the transmutation table right now. If I ever need more, I can just grab a full stack of nether stars and add it at about 16.5 million EMC at a time. Yeah. This is kind of a ridiculous amount of EMC available. Normally, you would only need this much if you were, like, physically producing your dark matter and your red matter out of the condenser or a tablet or something like that. However, we are going to have a use for it once I get building better and better gear. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to be able to do for the upgrades that I want for the Ender Quarry. In fact, if you search for the Ender Quarry, you can see the upgrades that you need. They're all made in the QED, and they all use one of these Ender Quarry upgrade bases for Ender-infused obsidian and a burnt quartz in a QED will get you that. To get the Silk Touch upgrade, I'm going to need a gold pickaxe with Silk Touch 1. And to get the speed upgrades, I'm going to need a variety of diamond pickaxes with various stack or speed upgrades, all enchanted with different levels of efficiency. So I'm going to get the materials together that I need for all of this, including the stack upgrades, which are just gold, diamonds, and a speed upgrade. And in fact, I'm going to make one more stack upgrade and toss it into here. But I'll do most of that off camera because it's just the kind of grindy stuff that's not fun. Back soon, folks. Time for some enchantment. Step 1, of course, being get your enchanted books together, or your feather and quill, book and quill. Words are hard together. One of them with a slime ball and 30 levels gets you Silk Touch. One of them and 12 redstone and 5 levels gets you Efficiency 1. And we're going to add those to our enchantment altar. Huh, I wonder how much you are going to cost. 10 levels, not bad. Can do. However, I'm definitely going to need more experience for this. Should have thought of that in the first place. Let me grab myself 2 stacks of bones. We'll make that of our experience supply this time around. Oop, it's in the bag, not in the... Well, it's in the backpack, not in the bag. I love it. So much experience so fast. Alright, did we already do the... Yes, we did. Now, you get Efficiency 1. That's 10 levels. You get Efficiency 2. That's 20 levels. And you don't get enchanted. You get Efficiency 3. Or, no. That didn't need Efficiency 2. It needed Efficiency 5. Darn. Okay, so if you have an item that you need to strip and enchant from, you've got a couple of options. One, you could use the transmutation table, honestly. You can teach it the item, and then just convert it straight from EMC into that item. Fun times. Or, if you don't have the transmutation table set up quite yet, you can grab a couple of books, in this case, and your activated division sigil. If you set those up like this, in a crafting table with the books on the bottom, every time you run it through, it will remove 1 level of enchant, destroying the book and damaging the division sigil. So, both are valid options. If you've got the transmutation table, you're not spending resources doing that, so you might as well use it. However, people sometimes don't like using the transmutation table for everything. Alright, so I need Efficiency 1, Efficiency 3, and Efficiency 5. There we go. Oi, what happened? Did I accidentally re-enchant the same pickaxe? I think I might have. That's okay. Efficiency 3 will be fairly cheap. Let me just grab the experience that's resting in here. Ah, so close, but not quite. Anyway, I'll do that in just a moment. Let's get these things building. So I built my 2 Ender Quarry. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need more Ender Quarry upgrade bases than that, but I'll deal with that in just a moment. So Ender Quarry, the Silk Touch one, is just a bit of redstone, which of course I don't have on hand. All right, fine. And the Efficiency one, that's right. That uses the speed upgrades, and these I do have on hand. Efficiency 1, speed upgrades, and Ender Quarry upgrade base gets me the Ender Quarry speed upgrade 1, which will also make it drain more power. You can't upgrade your Ender Quarry without making it less power efficient. However, I am willing to trade efficiency for speed in this case because, well, I want the speed. I want it fast. Gotta go fast, as Sonic taught me. Unfortunately, the Sonic games lately have not been good. I really wish that Sega could get their act together and make an awesome Sonic game again. I am missing my hedgehog ridiculousness. Alright, there's Efficiency 5, so I just need the 3. Alright, now we're golden. So I'm going to get the rest of these together. You've seen the recipes now. You know how it all works. That plus Efficiency 3. Now, the last one, though, the Speed 3 upgrade, will require 2 Efficiency 5 picks, so don't think I'm done with the enchantment table quite yet. In any case, I'll be back once I'm ready to put it all together in the world. See you soon. Alright, I was wrong. One final item needs to be crafted before we can go anywhere. 2 ender-infused obsidian and 3 ender pearls will create me the ender markers. Those are going to be very important because they're going to allow me to set the boundaries for the ender quarry. Now, there is one final bit of fun that needs to be had here. As this is done, I no longer need my 0 ring in there powering this cyclic assembler. And I can, 1, drink a elixir of infravision. And 2, use my tool bag, yes, to grab my crescent hammer. Shift right click to pick up the cyclic assembler. And we're going to put this guy over here right next to this magma crucible. And set this guy to accept fluids on the right. And this guy to output fluids on the same side. Because this is going to need to be full of resonant ender in the very near future. The reason for that is I want to make some enderium. To craft this, we need to create the enderium blend, which is made with tin dust, silver dust, and shiny or platinum dust. Now I should have plenty of all of those. Let's see. That is my Invar, lead, aluminium, osmium. I might not have any shiny yet. Let me look into that. Alrighty folks, as it would happen, I do not have a pile of platinum lying around, nor have I ever farmed it. It looks like whatever platinum I had from my early days of sieving is now gone. As such, we are going to create ourselves a large supply of it. So first step, we need to uncraft our Invar chestplate because... oh, I'm out of levels. Dough. Of all things, to not have the 8 levels I need to uncraft a chest plate. That is pretty sad. We'll fix that. So fast. First step, we're out of Invar. I'm going to uncraft the chest plate to get more. I don't have a good source of Invar either, but I'm not using it for much in this build, so I'm not too worried about it. We're going to make for ourselves the auto-sieve, the automatic sieve from X asterisk. And to do so, we need a silk mesh, and we need an electrum gear made from an iron gear and 4 electrum ingots. And then it's just a case of putting it all together. We needed the electrum gear, the 4 Invar, the silk mesh, and 2 Invar nuggets. And there we go. Now this guy is going to allow us to spend power to automatically sieve, which is kind of awesome, I feel. We're going to set you there. You're not going to be able to pump any fluid in anyway. Huh. Are you not properly working? Well, we'll find out in a moment. So, the most efficient source of platinum is crushed endstone, which you cannot make a mass supply of endstone using your EMC. It does not have an EMC value, as you can see. However, I have 23 stacks of Essence of Ender. We're in good shape. Each stack of that can be a stack of endstone. You also have to crush it manually, so this is not the best setup ever. There we go. It doesn't draw power until it needs it. The way the automatic sieve works, you can in fact pump items in through a hopper facing into the top of it, and you can set everything up like so, very, very easily. Put in some crushed endstone, and you can see it's filtering in. And as it sieves, it will gather anything that gets sieved out of it in this area. We've already got a bit of broken silver. Now, the long-term plan with this, of course, is going to be to make ourselves some platinum seeds so that we don't have this problem again. And to do so, I need to get myself 4 ingots out of this, which means all I need is 2 of these, 8 of this broken platinum ore with a 5% drop rate, and I need about 8 of it. Well, I'm probably looking at a few stacks worth of crushed endstone because I don't have the best luck in the world. However, all of that is something that I can pretty much set up and leave running while I go do something else for a while. So let me do that. Be right back. It was time for a hammer upgrade as I was doing all of this, so I'm making myself an unbreaking book using a bit of obsidian. And into the modular enchantment altar, we're going to throw our diamond hammer and give that unbreaking 3. Boom. Because I was tired of my iron hammer running out of durability when I was midway through a project. That's better. Barely used any durability at all. Awesome. So we have more than 5 stacks running through, and well, we're not getting into broken platinum yet, but because this area is chunk loaded, I can head back to the desert and start setting up the ender quarry. Actually, I almost forgot to grab my ender markers before I ran off. I got disoriented in the transfer. There they are. So let's go. I am going to want my angel block for this, that's for certain. And here we are. All of these dimensional transfers are starting to take a toll on the frame rate. I will probably have to do a client restart. Let me get back to the desert, and I'll meet there. While things are running back home and getting my platinum ready for me, we are back in Atom. I have my ender quarry placed, and we're going to start setting down some ender markers. And to do so, we're going to need to be at -90, I believe, when I place down. Nope. A little bit higher. Or 91? Will that do it? Yes, 91 is perfect. So we will stay at this level, and we're going to travel, I don't know, 1, 2... Oh, you know what? Let's make sure that we get our... We need to be at -9. Okay, -9. Remember that. Yes, that'll do nicely. And we'll travel. Wow, that thing actually blocks me from moving through it. That's unexpected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go 6 chunks, let's say. So the ender core is great because you can pretty much build it to an arbitrary size as long as you're willing to put in the effort to do so. And part of that effort is setting up the ender markers. They need to make a square, but you can see when they're on the right angle of something because they'll start giving off little sparks. Like if I put one here, no little sparks. Come back. And we'll head back over here, and we'll continue making the square. Should see some little sparks on this guy now. Yep, excellent. Now, we need to be at -13140. Excellent. And we'll again go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to the edge of the 6th chunk. The reason the ender quarry can get away with this is you don't need to keep the whole area loaded. In fact, you don't need to chunk load it at all. It will chunk load itself. Huh, apparently I didn't need to put down that bit of stone. These will happily float in the air and just exist. That's kind of fun. Now, if I go back to the ender quarry and I give it a right click, it should tell me that it will establish this area. Yep. Analyzing fence boundary, found attached ender marker, successfully established boundary. Fantastic. Now we're going to add on the silk touch upgrade. Bam. Or, hang on, shift right click. Oh, there we are. And the speed upgrade. And you can see that they kind of connect into the ender quarry itself. Now, I need some tubes that I don't know if I have them with me. Yes, I do. Good. Injection tube is what we are looking for. This is going to be basically just a space for the ender quarry to... Ooh. Or not. It won't connect to the ender quarry. That's the first time I've seen that happen. Hang on. Give me my tube. Ah! Jerks. Wow, I don't know who is hitting me like that, but it is really annoying to get knocked all over the place like that when I just wanted to get my tube back. And I forgot, actually, while I was doing this, that this guy... Why is it doing that? What is happening here? Dealing with some technical difficulties. The injection tube... Wow. There, now it's working. Basically functions as a one-slot inventory to place things into. What we're going to end up doing here is just laying out a bunch of tubes in the same chunk as the Ender Quarry, because this chunk will always stay loaded, the one that the Ender Quarry itself is in. And on those tubes, we're just going to put down a whole mess of barrels to gather anything that comes out of the Ender Quarry. Now, I will most likely need to come back and set these guys to some specific items after I get it running, but we're not quite prepared to get it running yet because we're lacking one very key ingredient: power. Let's go get our power sorted out. That's what I want the platinum for. And the Enderium, for that matter. Still waiting on our platinum, however, there is one other important machine that I need to make, and that is the Ender IO Alloy Smelter. This guy's not too much of a big deal. We're going to need some basic capacitors. You know what, sure, let's make all 10, because they'll probably get used in the long run. A machine chassis, which is made with osmium, iron bars, and a basic capacitor. And that should give us everything we need for the alloy smelter specifically. I'm also going to want to upgrade these capacitors, but before I can do that, I need to get this guy into the world with some power and start doing some crafting on him. Ah, there's more endstone here that somehow got missed. I have to fix that. I don't know how I just ran by it all of these times, but there, it's better. I feel a little better now. As you can see, our sieve is working away, and we're only one broken platinum ore away from victory. Now, the alloy smelter can be used to make a number of special alloys and materials for Ender IO. It can also be used like a regular furnace. However, I'm going to turn it into alloys only mode, and I'm going to get myself a bunch of nether quartz. I'm actually going to need a lot more than I have in there. That's fine. I have the ability to produce quartz essence, and therefore I feel no shame about using my transmutation tablet to acquire lots and lots of nether quartz. Specifically, I want 3 full stacks of the stuff. And we can put this one back where it came from. Now, I'm going to put these 3 stacks of nether quartz into the alloy smelter, and it will begin working as, well, reasonably fast. I can add in basic capacitor to it to increase the speed that it's working. Or actually, no. Apparently, it counts as already having a basic capacitor and needs something better. In any case, it should use 12 quartz at a time to create 3 of these fused quartz with every go. Now, if I want this thing to run faster, I do need to make the better capacitor, which is going to require energetic alloy and some pulverized coal or coal powder. Do I have any of that even lying around anymore? If I don't, then this... Okay, so I'm going to need to pulverize some coal. That's fine. And I'm going to need... Oh, where were we? We were upgrading the capacitor. Going to need to pulverize some coal and make some energetic alloy, which is created in the alloy smelter with gold, glowstone, and redstone. So, we've already got the redstone on hand. We will pause our fused quartz creation, because you've seen about how fast this guy can run at current, but there's better. And I am running out of inventory space. What else is new? You and you. Like that. Thank you. And I'll take this. And that should form my... There we go. It's already cooking now. That'll get me the energetic alloy so I can create an upgraded basic capacitor. If I want to go even further than that, I'm going to need to create 2 of these double layer capacitors to increase the energy storage and speed of the machine. And then I'm going to need to use vibrant alloy, a block of glowstone. The vibrant alloy is made with that energetic alloy and an ender pearl. I'm not going to go that far right now because I don't feel like crafting that much of this energetic alloy and spending that much time on this situation. But it's an option for the future. Oh, darn it. If I take this, I can't put it back. It's a one-way inventory. It's just an output sort of thing. But that's okay. We'll toss a couple of it into the sorting system because there's a nice ex nihilo chest for it to land in. And we're going to take our broken platinum ore, and we're going to do the standard crafting chain with it. You go away. And smash this down into powdered platinum ore. We got a little bit extra out of that. Wasn't really worth it, but that's okay. And then we'll melt this in our smeltery to create 4 platinum ingots. Turn those into platinum seeds, and well, you know the rest. I'll do that off camera. I've already prepared a space for it by pulling out my 22 stacks of wither essence. So yeah, we're in good shape now. Right, you needed to be pulverized. Thank you. Well, that goes fairly fast at least. Now, we wanted to make the double layer capacitor just like this. Awesome. And that should about double the speed of the machine. Let's find out. So we can see it going tick, 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 tick. It takes a while. Put that in there, and yeah, that's going significantly faster and can hold double the redstone flux now. Fantastic. Are you done melting my platinum yet? Yes, you are. Fluid.platinum.molten. Well, that's not exactly ideal, but that's okay. We'll get this put into ingot form. And once I have a limitless supply of platinum, we'll finally be able to finish this build, and I shall return. Alrighty, folks, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we have enough of everything that we need to finish the build. The bad news is that the platinum in the smeltery turned into shiny metal, which you cannot use to make platinum seeds. So I'm going to have to let that run a good bit longer, but I'll get myself a platinum crop set up between episodes. For right now, I need a bucket full of this resonant ender. Easy peasy. And this is going to go into the cyclic assembler. We're going to clear out this schematic by use while sneaking. That's not actually necessary, but it makes things slightly more convenient. You can also just overwrite the schematic by putting it in here and assigning new items. So we're going to add a bucket of resonant ender, a bit of pulverized shiny metal, a bit of pulverized silver, and 2 bits of pulverized tin. And that will create 4 Enderium blend each, which makes us 16 out of what we already had. Now, to turn this Enderium blend into Enderium ingots, it needs to go into an induction smelter with pyrotheum dust. Well, pyrotheum dust is made from sulfur, blaze powder, redstone, and pulverized coal or coal powder. Each one of your pyrotheum blends will be able to smelt 2 Enderium blend. So, luckily we have access to the nether now and a vast supply of nether sulfur. And in fact, I will probably end up making myself a even larger supply by making myself some sulfur seeds, so I never need to go back. So I add these 4, and I end up with 8 pyrotheum dust, which will be enough to smelt my 16 Enderium blend in the induction smelter. All of these machine noises are actually kind of fun. They're unobtrusive enough that they don't bother me, which is really the important part. Once I have a couple of those, we're finally going to start using them to create what I came here for, which are the tesseract frames. These are going to require 4 of that fused quartz, a diamond, and 4 Enderium ingots each, and I am going to need at least 2. So let me show you the entire crafting chain for one of these. I don't have any diamonds on me. Let me fix that real quick first. Bump, bump. And see what the final bit requires. Silver and bronze. That's interesting. And unexpected. Alright, well, let's make an awful lot of bronze real fast. You are going to turn into blocks. So are you. This entire process is ending up taking just a little bit more time than I expected. I forgot how many steps were involved in building tesseracts, but I don't want to move my power supply. I want to be able to just take a tesseract full of power with me wherever I go. All right, I've got gold, iron, steel, and blood in there, none of which should react with the copper and the tin. So, here we go. A ton of bronze incoming. And while that's happening, I can go and get the rest of the Enderium I need. Which is in here. There we are. We're going to make some tesseract frames. And we're going to fill those in our fluid transposer with the resonant ender. Like so. Now these require 1,000 millibuckets each. So 1 bucket of resonant ender per... Go on now. Why aren't you working? That's odd. Resonant ender, tesseract frame empty. Oh, it might not have enough power yet? No. 160,000 RF. It should just start going. Oh, okay, there we go. Now it's very slowly working. It's because it requires so much power, I imagine. Anyway, once these guys finally finish refilling... You know what? Let me get this some better power. Back soon. There we are. Put everything together to upgrade my survivalist generator because you've already seen me do all that with the other one. So, that's all we needed to do. Fantastic. I wonder if this thing actually needs the energy transfer node anymore. It probably does. Anyway, this thing can now produce 320 RF per tick, and will burn through my coal supply fairly quickly. And, most importantly of all, that completes another quest in our book, allowing me to gather up in Survival of the Fittest the highest tier reward. 2 troll blocks, a miniature red heart, and an epic reward bag. That's actually kind of nice. I'm glad that they're giving me epic reward bags far earlier in the quest chain than I can get a bunch of good reward bags. Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all, but whatever. We've got our 2 full tesseract frames. That's the important bit. And the bronze has had time to... Or maybe not, because all of the tin finished and then there was no room for the copper. But there we go. Now we're creating the bronze as I pour gold into these. Geez, machine, can you just cooperate for once? Just a little bit of cooperation. That's all I'm asking for. Really? Why you gotta be like that, huh? Give me some bronze. You too. Excellent. And we can get rid of these. Give that just a second. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm impatient. Thank you. So, with our bronze... There we go. Or, I believe, Tinker's alloy. No, it's actually bronze ingot. I don't know where Tinker's alloy comes from. In any case, we can now complete these full tesseract frames into tesseracts. Just need a little bit of silver to go with it. Running low on silver, but we have a ton of silver essence over there. So, actually, you know what? I can shift-click this recipe. Yes, I can. There we go. 2 tesseracts. We're going to come over here next to our... you know what? I'm thinking right next to the generator. Right here. This thing is going to be set to frequency 1, and it is going to be power. It will be set to send... actually, hang on. I want you to send energy and nothing else. There we go. It is now sending energy and doing nothing else. You know what? We can also have you sending fluids. That'll be fine. That way I can get water and power out of the same area. Huh. I don't know if it's just going to constantly drain power. Is there like a power reserve that this thing can max out at? Anyway, set frequency. I have no idea why it's burning through so much power. Is that really just how much the auto-sieve takes? Wow. That auto-sieve is rough on your power supply. Looks like it eats about 80 RF per tick. Okay. Well, let's go back to Atom now and get our Ender Quarry powered so that we can finally get that ore quest complete. I'm surprised how much more time I'm spending in the desert than I ended up spending in the dream world. But I think it really does largely come down to there's just... the quest line is not as well laid out in this one, really. Alright, Here you go. And you are going to be set to receive power or energy. Set frequency. And you can see that it already begins working. Awesome. So you are going to be coal. Ooh, right. It's going to silk touch everything. That's kind of fun. You, and only you, will be the stone. But we need to get another something before... You know what? I can do this a little bit. Oh, nope, there we go. Now I have... why are things falling down here? What is launching me like that? Alright, guys. Ah! What was that all about? Oh, right. There's a monster of we in there. That's part of the problem. Die, 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 die. All of you die. Be dead. Go away. Ah, you guys are the worst. The absolute worst. There. That's a little better. Where's that ore that I dropped down here? Is it just gone now? Oh. Here it is. Iron ore. Man, what a pain. Yeah, we're gonna put our iron ore in this barrel and lock it. Now, I can take it out of these two, and we should be good. And honestly, I can probably ignore it for quite a while now. Unfortunately, it is going to need to pull up everything. It seems to be doing a pretty good job. It is moving fairly quickly, but I really wish I could get it moving even faster than that. However, we're almost done with the coal side of things. Anyway, fantastic. We'll give this some time to run in between episodes. And next time, we should be able to complete a bunch of those, the remaining ATOM quests. And you'll have to wait until next time for me to open all these reward bags because we're out of time. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, leave a like. Tell me what you liked about it. If you have not, leave a dislike and tell me what I can do better. And I'll see you next time.